months owner review of the C5Z06 platform. This car came into the fold, really was never planned. As you guys know, my platform is predominantly small block Ford, 351 base, Windsor base motors, and the Ford Falcon platform, as that was the genesis of the channel. Primarily, the channel's focus has been on the Falcon and the outgoing powertrain, which was a 408 Windsor 5-speed combination, and then swapping over to a 700 plus horsepower CSM racing engine built 430-inch Windsor and doing a Detroit Speed Alumaframe install in that car. So last summer I came across a great deal on a C5Z06, so I picked that up and kind of just threw that in the channel. And I also did a driver's review on this car. I'll link that C5Z06 review in the description. It's been about 6 months since I've owned the car, approximately. A review of the car over a long period of time and compare it to other cars that I have in the stable. And obviously the Falcon has been down for about a year, going on a year and a half. So it'd be unfair to kind of compare it to that. That probably, prior to the C5, was the funnest driving car in terms of starting it up, rolling around town, romping around, and just kind of tearing it up. So I want to give you guys a review of the C5Z06 after 6 months of ownership. Talk about the pros of the car. Things with this car is, one, the acceleration. Although it's a stock LS6, do not let it fool you. This car rips. It's a little bit shorter gearing in the transmission than the base C5, so that kind of helps it get out of the hole. The next thing is the handling. The handling on this car, it takes corners like you wouldn't believe. Now, I've added spec Corvette sway bars with polyurethane bushings, and it's already sitting on LG Motorsports G2 coilovers. So the thing, handling wise, is dialed in. Let's take a quick look underneath the car. Got the only thing mod for this car, and if you want to call it that, is a Corsa Extreme muffler, which sounds dope as hell. There you can see the spec Corvette sway bars. Installed those probably back in I think October, and it did dial out the body roll of the car. I would say the car now, the only thing it would need is a bushing kit from like Borg. Just put a complete bushing kit on upper and lower control arms, and this car is fucking race car ready. There you can see the hypercoil spring and the Bilstein shock, which completes the LG Motorsports G2 coilover kit. And I mean, there she is. Nothing much to this car, just C5 business under here. Brakes are another strong point. C6Z06 style brake kit, calipers, but then you also have the Coleman rotor, so that reduces unsprung weight and just helps the car stop. Front and rear. So you have a car that weighs 3,100 pounds on the scale with me in it. you can see how it would bring this thing down to a halt. So 1, acceleration, 2, handling and how it feels, ride comfort and handling, and then 3 is the brakes. Those are like the dynamic components that just make this car fun to ride. Sum up this car and the enjoyment behind it. What makes me want to jump in this car and just take off with it? For those of you who own this car, you know they call it it really is like a go-kart, and that is true. It is like a go-kart. This thing came to me, I was like, you know what? It's a pocket vet. That's it. This car is like a pocket vet. And for some reason, the word pocket vet just stuck to me. And why did that stick? Well, let's go over the pros. So with this car, I would say the reason why, the fun factor of this car is primarily just the LS6 motor, the T56 transmission, and the gearing. Much fun it is just to start this car and drive it. I mean, it is a blast to drive. I can't stress that enough. The other thing is how light it is. So I weighed this car at the scale. This thing weighs 3120. It's also got a few weight-saving mods, one of which is the Braille lithium battery. C5R hood. You can see right there, the heat from the radiator goes right through there, and it does aid with cooling. Because it is so light, because it's not super high-powered, it makes it easy to drive. It makes it to where you have a lot of confidence going into corners or just whatever you want to do with the car, and you don't have to worry about engine power overpowering the chassis. That's probably one of the funner things. Simplistic drive of it, the simplistic atmosphere, and that's what, to me, what makes this car so awesome to drive. And that is my 6-month ownership experience with the car. If you guys have any questions or comments, please drop them below. And again, thank you guys for watching my channel. We are getting close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys like this content, hey, hit the subscribe button, share it, like it, comment. All that stuff helps the channel, and we're just continuing to grow, and we appreciate you guys for following along with the journey. And just keep in mind, the Ford Falcon, Detroit Speed Ford Falcon, is still coming along. We are just about done with a lot of the chassis work, so now we're going to transition over to the electrical and fuel system, and we're ready to light her off. So again, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, and we'll see you soon.